Today's podcast is brought to you by AccessNEPA.com. AccessNEPA.com. Look for your local podcast, the Podguyz Podcast, Northeast Pennsylvania's best podcast, Dixon City region, buddy. Whoop, whoop!
And if we win, we're guaranteeing a dumpster fire.
A dumpster fire of some sort. That's true.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. I am Tony Cass.
Kevin Neary here.
And Sparky.
We are the Podguyz Podcast. Not lay Podguyz Podcast.
Yeah,
Wow.
that make it
That's
sound
very
too
French.
bourgeois.
Yeah, it's very bougie.
Bourgeois.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us this week. We have a jam-packed, fun schedule today. We have some interesting topics from lay dumpster fires of the internet. Maybe.
Couple, yeah.
Couple, 1, 2, 3.
There's a lot of dumpster fires going on over the weekend.
Well, certainly. Let's start out with the death poll. We'll just jump right into it.
Jumping in.
We got a 4-way tie for first.
Oh, yay! Woo! No, actually, a 3-way tie for first.
Who didn't get involved?
No, Will is in last place.
But the four of us picked names. There was 5 of us.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, well, technically you. I don't really count you, though.
I'll remember that.
Oh,
no. Not to say that you're not on camera, but your voice.
I have a voice on camera.
Your voice
but I
is
still
here.
count.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so a 4-way tie for first.
Yes.
And then one person with a -3. Will.
I foretold about taking somebody over 100.
Our death pool for 2020 has taken its first victim. Sparky talked a little bit about it.
Kirk Douglas. Spartacus. With a lot of big time roles. He actually started
some huge monster roles.
He had huge monster roles, and and over his career, he was in movies with the who's who of actors and actresses of Hollywood. You name it. It could, instead of being the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, it could have been the 2 degrees of Kirk Douglas, because you could have said a name of an actor back in that day, and Kirk Douglas would have been connected by 2 people, because
probably true.
Because he was in movie. I think he was in movies with John Wayne and the Jimmy Stewart, and
that's true. Mm-hmm. That's true. He was in. Oh my gosh, he was
Tough Enough. Tough Enough was one where
Tough Enough.
Him and his friend get out of jail for so long after trying to rob a train.
Okay.
And
that was Burt Reynolds.
That was Burt Reynolds.
That was Burt.
He was in Planet of the Apes.
What was that?
I'm pretty positive.
Could have been.
Look up his IMDb for Kirk Douglas.
That was
Kirk Douglas movies.
The original Planet of the Apes was Charlton Heston.
Yeah. Well, no. I know Charlton Heston was the lead, but I thought that he played a role in there.
We got Stack Girl looking it up. What do you got?
So, Paths of Glory. Lust for Life.
Lust for Life, yeah.
The Vikings. The Bad and the Beautiful. Lonely Are the Brave.
Yep.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Gunfight at the OK Corral.
He played Doc Holliday.
Runs in the Family. The War Wagon. Cast a Giant Shadow. Tough Guys. Everything.
Spartacus.
Tough Guys, not Tough Enough. Yeah.
We already mentioned
He was in Ben-Hur also, wasn't he? Or is that Charlton Heston?
That's Charlton Heston.
Mm-hmm. That was Charlton Heston in Ben-Hur.
He was like the Fury, the villain.
Charlie Evans says hi, Bob.
How many Oscars did he have?
Charlie Evans. What's cracking, Mr. Neary?
Hello, Charlie. Chuck. I think it's Chuck.
Well, he says Charlie Evans.
Charlie Evans will work.
He goes with Charlie Evans, yeah.
Chuck's a good guy. Yeah, I always wondered how Michael Douglas got his start.
It was his father.
Yeah,
his dad.
You ever see the movie of Michael Douglas? It's called Solitary Man. Now, if you've ever had the fantasy of watching Michael Douglas eat a steak, that's basically 45 minutes of Solitary Man. I'm not even joking.
Okay.
He gets up in the morning, showers, does the routine,
rinse, wash, repeat,
goes downstairs, eats a steak. I'm talking 10 minutes on Michael Douglas and that steak. And I'm thinking to myself, there has to be a plot here. Good 30 minutes of driving to a restaurant where he eats some steak and knows the waiter gives him a nice tip. Very, very, very... It's called Solitary Man because people leave him alone.
won an Oscar.
It was people actually paid to see this movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had to watch the whole thing because I'm thinking to myself, there has to be more.
There's got to be more to this secret sauce.
He got home, and I'm like, man, if I see this motherfucker eating a steak again, and what do you think he does?
Eats the steak.
Started eating a fucking steak. It could have been pork.
Yeah.
You know, it could have been pork.
Could have been a pork chop.
But I just saw him with a fork and knife again. I'm like,
Eating
I'm turning this the fuck off right now, real quick.
Yeah.
Hand went for the remote, turned it off.
Boom.
And I'm like, no way.
You come back 10 minutes later.
Yeah,
still eating a steak.
I checked out the reviews online, and I'm like, all right, at least somebody else saw the steak.
Awesome.
But I tell you what, he eats a hell of a steak.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he kept me
He
captivated.
acted like he liked it.
Not even that. I think they actually cooked the steak nice for him.
Whoa.
You know, because if they wasn't
In
nice,
the movie.
Yeah,
of course.
It was just, man. It was
But,
like Wall Street Michael Douglas, only there was no Wall Street. He was just eating a steak.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Worst movie I ever saw in my life.
Well, I find it funny, not necessarily that we had predicted, not necessarily the first death of the new year, but we did forecast it, like a true Northeast Pennsylvania weatherman.
He was 103 though. It's not,
Well, yeah, that's true.
Nudged it in there.
Yeah, we just nudged it in.
it's not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's not like he was 50 and.
True. Yeah.
I wonder if Will feels responsible.
He might. That's probably why he's not here today.
Maybe.
Yeah,
He could have made it to 104 if not for the jinx.
that could be true.
Yeah. Kirk Douglas was older than all the Dalmatians.
Mark, you want to hear about a funny thing that I just read on the lay internet?
What'd you read about on the internet now?
Tom Brady. We're gonna get into a little sports news because this is kind of funny. Tom Brady.
I know exactly what you're gonna say. It came out 5 hours ago.
It did come out 5 hours ago. He is going to submit for free agency for the NFL.
He's gonna test free agency.
He's gonna test it.
In other words, it's going to be a bidding war for Brady.
God, there is not enough money for that man.
Can we see Tom Brady in the new $50 million Man movie? Well, instead of doing the sounds, that's actually Brady moving at real speed now.
Oh, yeah.
His knees are just clicking.
Click, 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 click.
On my shoulder. Oh my god, dude! I couldn't imagine.
He needs to do like an Icy Hot commercial because
For real.
you would totally believe it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? I need to buy that too.
Yeah,
You know?
him and Shaq side by side.
Yeah. Shaq's like, I may not play basketball anymore. Tom's like, I still play football.
Yeah,
But I still get sore like a 43-year-old man would.
yeah. But he's gonna test out the free agency waters, and I think, if I believe it or not, the Patriots actually signed him to a 3-year deal, a 3-year extension. So I don't know what the actual logistics are for them to sign a 3-year deal and then opt out for the free agency for them to pick up a 3-year contract.
This is the specifics. The Patriots set the bar on how much money has to be matched minimally.
Yes.
By league officials. Now, if somebody matches that price around the league, the Patriots, and then it turns into a slight bidding war.
Slight bidding war, yes.
Where the Patriots can rematch that higher price.
Of course.
And then that rematched higher price can go even higher, and then it's up to the player to choose either higher money or
the team.
The eventual team.
Now, I also find it funny that Bill Belichick is all about it. He said, "You know what? If
go ahead, give it a try.
You want to test out free agency? Just go for it. Go for it." What the fudge?
Well, Belichick has been angry about the whole Jimmy Garoppolo leaving situation.
I
Because he's like, hey, Brady, you know, we're...
Brady's going to leave. He's going to go to the Raiders. I already see that.
You think it's happening?
He's going to go to the Raiders. Because
we were talking about this earlier, and we said maybe the Colts or the Dolphins.
the Raiders, because where are the Raiders playing this year? They're playing out in Vegas.
The new Vegas stadium.
They've been playing out in, like, this is almost like Siegfried and Roy without the white tiger. You know, you could bring in Brady. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be like a stage show.
Yeah, but then his wife is gonna be thinking that he's cheating on him with the Siegfried Roy.
And then
Right?
and then what's gonna happen is
She'll come in with her broken Swedish or accent or whatever, and she'll be like, Thomas, how dare you cheat on me like that? You know, she makes the bread too. Like she
makes a lot of
She
money,
wears
too.
the proverbial pants.
she makes more money than him.
She does. She does.
No, the only reason I was saying the Indianapolis Colts was because the owner is addicted to Percocet. So
That's true.
This is normally a decision you make on Percocet where you're like, call Tom Brady. I don't care how old he is.
No.
Give him all the money.
No, Brady's got Brady.
Put everybody on the minimum salary cap. Here's what we're gonna do.
Brady's
We'll get him to play for the government.
No, Brady's gonna go to the Raiders though.
It's okay. I'll smell his hair.
Phillip Rivers is gonna go to Miami. I'm thinking he's gonna go play for the Dolphins or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I could actually see that.
Where now you're looking at Jameis Winston probably being out in Tampa Bay. So I think Jameis Winston is gonna go to Indianapolis.
You know what? There's a lot of talk about him getting a not a free agency, tag.
Franchise tag?
A franchise tag.
It'd be a nice safety net
Winston.
for the Bucks because not only did he throw the most
He's not
interceptions,
bad.
he threw the most touchdowns too.
He did. Which in his defense, like he neither had an offense or a defense,
Yeah.
and to be a gold star on a shit team,
He had an offense. If some of the throws he would have just thrown out of bounds instead of directly to players,
would have been money.
they would have been in the playoffs, no problem.
And then you have those other quarterbacks. You got Mariota, you got Phillip Rivers, you got
Mariota's done.
Yeah.
I love Mariota too. I really loved his game when he started off as a rookie in Tennessee. I'm like, you know what? Tennessee finally found someone right out of Oregon.
Andy Dalton out of Cincinnati because you know Dalton's going to be gone because Cincinnati's going to take Joe Burrow with the number 1 pick.
Who's going to want Andy Dalton though? It's like getting the worst toy for Christmas. You know, you're like, hey kid, did you get me a Tom Brady doll? No, we got you an Andy Dalton though. It's like, oh my god,
you got an iTab instead of an iPod.
If a team needs a veteran backup to work with the younger guy, maybe bring in Andy Dalton to work as a backup for one of the younger quarterbacks.
It's a tough. I don't have anything against Andy Dalton. He took over the Carson Palmer helm pretty nice.
He did.
Where Cincinnati Bengals said to Carson Palmer, "Hey man, we're not going to give you any more money," and he's like, "Then I'll sit on the couch. What are you going to do?" And they're like, "We're going to watch you sit on the couch, and we're going to put Andy Dalton in there, see what the hell he can do." And he did all right.
That's true. That is pretty true.
But then he's been average ever since.
Have you guys seen what actually started up this week?
The XFL.
XFL.
Yeah.
Watched it.
How do you guys feel about that?
I like it so far.
It's pretty good, right?
I watched 5 minutes of it until I realized no one I was watching was a millionaire. I'm like, took the magic right away.
You know, the funny thing is that I actually looked up, if you Google up XFL salaries, everybody gets a minimum salary.
But they're playing, the only thing that makes it a little disingenuous for me as a fan is they are playing their way out of that league.
Yes.
They want to not be in the league.
Yeah, they want to be not in the XFL, and they want to get onto NFL starter leagues.
Exactly. So for myself as a fan, you're not watching the best game.
No.
You're watching a bunch of guys who don't want to be there.
Hugely struggling athletes who can't make the starter squad.
Now, what they have been doing is they've been captivating a lot of their stories. And that's really selling the product a lot better, where they're like, hey, this dude, he's been injury-prone and in the NFL and blah, 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 and going on. And
the XFL, to me, is like the Jerry Lewis telethon.
Kind of. I was going to be like, I was going to say, I thought you were...
with the stories, but with the
minus the kids and the sicknesses and the disease.
Here we have Tom Smith. It's so sad. He had to move away from his family to go live down in Miami.
Things weren't always as easy for Tom.
I do
After
like,
beating his wife
like
several
the
times
package,
in the face
though.
with an iron and spending time in jail for 3 weeks, he was cut by the Cincinnati Bengals for plain old not showing up to practices. He was incarcerated.
So then he was cut. There he is, starting squad for the Dragons.
The Dragons, that's a team.
The Dragons is a team.
Are you picking a team?
I'm just watching. I'm not really picking a team. I'm just watching the game.
There's nobody that stands